This sound still haunts me. Night has a way of changing ordinary things. A quiet house becomes a hollow shell. Curtains become silhouettes, and windows become mirrors, reflecting more than they should. On the night it began, the house was still. No movement, no footsteps. Only the low hum of the refrigerator in the kitchen and the soft ticking of the wall clock, each second carving deeper into the silence. The first time I heard it myself, I thought it was a neighbor. Then I realized the sound was coming from a window no one could reach. I want you to picture your bedroom window for a second. The glass, the latch, the sill where you set a mug at night. Now imagine someone knocking on that window. It was Nora who told us first. She was 16, stubborn in that way teenagers are, trying to make fear look small. 3 taps, she said. Always 3. Always at 2:13 a.m. The first night I took it as a joke. The second night I tacked a ladder up against the wall to prove a point. I walked the exterior. I looked for everything a human would need to climb. A ledge, a drain pipe, a rope. There was nothing. The wall beneath that window was sheer brick. 2 stories of unbroken masonry. The ladder did not even reach halfway. Then one night, Nora timed it. She sat in the dark with a small light and watched the glass. 2:13 a.m. The exact rhythm of knuckles on glass. Not a scratch. Not wind. Human measured taps that said quietly, "I am here." I remember the sound being so ordinary, like someone knocking to wake a friend. Except there was no friend to wake. We tried to be reasonable. We turned up music. Nora wore earplugs. I told myself, sleep, and the house will be ordinary again. One night, every window in the house seemed to hold its breath right up until 2:13 a.m. Tap, tap, tap. This time everyone heard it. My wife stopped mid-sentence. My son sat bolt upright in his bed. The sound threaded through the house and held us all in place. I ran upstairs, 2 steps at a time, threw open Nora's door. She was not there. The curtains were drawn. I shone flashlight across the glass, and there, on the outside of the pane, 3 greasy, upside-down fingerprints, like someone had been hanging there, fingertips pressed against the window from above. I touched the glass. Cold. The prints were smeared as though whatever it held on had been coated in some oily residue. I called the police. Officers checked for anything that would make sense. Ladders, footprints, tools. They found none. The brick was old, crumbly, not able to support a climber. Yet on the roof directly above the window, there were faint scuff marks, like something had been crawling the edge night after night. They put up a motion-activated floodlight. We installed cameras, one inside Nora's room facing the window, one outside pointed up at the glass. 2:13 a.m. Tap, tap, tap. We watched the footage together, trying to make ourselves brave. The inside camera showed an empty room. Curtains moved a whisper with the house's breath. The audio picked up the taps. The outside camera showed only brick and sky. The timestamp hit 2:13 a.m. The microphone spiked with the knocks, but the video never showed anything touch the glass. We swapped cameras, different brands, higher frame rates. Same result. You can hear it, you just cannot see it. The house sounded haunted, but the camera said nothing. A few nights later, Nora woke up to find 3 vertical scratches dragged down the outside of her window, from top to center, like talons or nails pulling slowly, deliberately. They caught the morning light, deep enough to stay. We moved Nora to a room further down the hall, thinking distance might matter. For a while it did. Then at 2:13 a.m. on the 8th night, the knocking came again, this time at the hallway window. Tap, tap, tap. It was no longer attached to Nora's bed or her life. It belonged to the house. or maybe to whoever was closest to that side of the house. I decided I would not be afraid to look. I sat under that hallway window one night with a flashlight and my phone recording, eyes raw from trying not to sleep. 2:12 a.m. Nothing. 2:13 a.m. Tap, tap, tap. I yanked the curtain and aimed the beam up the brick to the roofline. Nothing moved, so I opened the window and leaned out, as far as the sill would allow, searching for any clue, any thread of evidence of human presence. There, tucked where the brick met the roof, the tiniest thing caught in the mortar, I reached up and plucked it free. It looked like a thread at first, but under the kitchen light, it looked like hair. Long, dark. There was dried skin still attached. I took it to the lab. They ran it through their system. No match. You keep thinking there will be a reasonable answer. Then you hold something in your hand that should belong to a person, and it feels older than anyone you know. We listed the house for sale. We wanted distance. We wanted a place where the walls did not listen. On the day we packed the last box, I went upstairs one last time to move a picture, to check a drawer. I paused by Nora's old window. The scratches still caught the light. The greasy prints had faded. I turned to leave. That is when I heard it. A single soft knock from the glass behind me, close enough that it felt like a breath. It was not a goodbye I could define. Maybe a promise, maybe the house marking us as something it had checked off its list. I walked out without looking back. Before we left, I felt it look at me, not from outside the house, from somewhere close, like a presence with its face pressed to the inside of the glass. The new owners never called the police. They bricked the upstairs windows shut and turned that floor into storage. From the street, you can see the faint outline where the windows used to be, a rectangle of slightly different brick. I do not pretend I have answers. I do not pretend to know whether it was human, animal, or something that lives by different rules of balance and place. I only know the sound, the rhythm, the particular punctuation of those 3 knocks at 2:13 a.m. I know the way the house stopped breathing around them. Sometimes, even now, if I stay in bed too late and the house is quiet, I imagine the pressure of those fingertips upside down on the pane. I imagine a head tilting, cataloging my face. It felt like someone learning which window led to which room, marking rooms like a landlord marking rented spaces. If you ever hear a knock at your upstairs window at 2:13 a.m. and you know there is no way anyone could be standing there, if the wall is sheer and the ladder will not reach, and the roofline shows no footprints, you will have a choice. Pull the curtain back and risk seeing what is learning your face, or pretend the sound is the wind, lie down, and leave the house one morning without looking back. We left.